It's Saturday night.
Happy Saturday.
Can you believe?
I've actually got a glass of red.
I was going to say, I've literally just run through the door because it's actually me that was late this time. Sorry about that, guys.
Makes a change.
And I haven't even had a chance to even do anything. I just literally ran in and sat down and like switched the light on. I was like, and go, and action. So let's have a catch up. Right. I feel like, it feels like ages ago now, but Greg's party.
Yes, Greg's party. Oh, it was so good, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. Honestly, I feel like everyone had such the best time. I actually, for the listeners, arrived a couple of hours late because my flight was delayed from Spain. And I had to go from the airport to Surrey, get my stuff, get my cowgirl hat, and then drive to Essex, drop the kids at mum's, get ready, and then get to Billie's. So I was a little bit of a mad whirlwind. But when I got there, it was actually quite a good time to arrive because I feel like the party was getting started.
The party was in full swing.
I swear I walked straight into line dancing. It was so funny. Like the teacher.
No. That was, do you know what it reminded me of? Like the line dancing. I always remember at school when we used to do like makeup dance routines.
Yeah.
I could never get it. And even with the line dancing, when I watch the videos, you can see I'm struggling.
The footwork's not on point.
It was so easy as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite easy.
It actually, when you look back at the videos, it really makes me laugh. Like everyone bopping around in my like kitchen, like family room in hats doing line dancing.
Because it was funny, because at one point I was like, because thing is, I did have a drink, but I wasn't drinking too much, and that was mainly because I was just absolutely shattered, and I was gutted because basically, remember, I hadn't eaten since I'd left Spain. So then when
you missed the wings.
I missed food, so I just felt like
the wings and
chips.
I
was tired, I was hungry. Anyway, by the time I'd got round the party and said hello to everyone, I was like, right, now I'm going to go get myself some food. I literally walked to your front door and it was like shut shop, like the shutters were down on the chip.
I can't believe
I was
it.
like, no.
I think, you know what happened? I think he was serving food 6 till 9. And I think where you didn't get there till 8:30, then we done a scene, didn't we, for filming? And then I think after that, you probably thought, well, I'm going to go and get food.
I'm going in to see that time.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
Yes. From tennis.
Right, what they called, Paul?
V-Bucks.
V-Bucks. Right, so...
I've had it today.
Right, can all of you three get out, please? We can talk about this after. Edward, go to Daddy. Edward's even in here. Go to Dad.
Edward, come.
Oh, sorry, darling. Oh, just
Sorry,
dug
look
in
at
me.
Rosie in the background dancing.
Right, take this one. Thank you. All 3 children. And shut the door for me, please. And shut the kitchen door so Edward doesn't come back in. I dug him in the cheek by accident. Sorry. He's going, yeah. Shut the door, guys. Thank you. Goodbye. Anyway, right. So what he was just talking about then was when we was in Spain last week, the kids had tennis lessons every day. They got a tennis club.
Yes, I see that. It looked amazing.
It was really good. And it was like an hour to break up the day, a bit of sport. And because it wasn't boiling hot, it was, it's a bit of sport. Anyway, the first couple of days to kind of encourage them, I'd like, I know it's really bad, but I was like, right, well, you can both choose something that you want, just to get them up there and out, to get them to do so.
Yeah.
Paul was like, well, I want V-Bucks. So you can get like a package for like £6 or something. I was like, right, okay, done. Rosie was like, bless her. Rosie's not really bothered about stuff like that. She just do it anyway. But I had to say, well, do you want?
Yeah.
And she was like, basically, Rosie needs some new clothes. So I've said to her, when we get home from holiday, we'll go shopping because she's at this stage, right? And I know you went through it with Nelly.
Oh.
I don't know what to do anymore. It's so stressful
hard.
and painful getting out of the house, but she will not put on anything. It has to be.
What's her vibe? She likes a pair of leggings.
She likes
doesn't
leggings, but obviously, like, you take but they have to be a certain legging, a certain length, a certain texture. Honestly, it's like banging your head against a brick wall. Anyway, and because it was technically it's still a holiday. I know it was chilly in the evenings, but I still took some nice bits for them and stuff that she would have liked in October when we was away Anyway, it was all like, no. So everything, because I didn't go shopping for this trip. We booked this trip the day before we went. Literally, we booked the flights the night before we flew. There was no preparation. And because it was quite chilly-ish, it was still sunny, but it was still a little bit, I just like threw leggings in T-shirts, like kind of like spring stuff that you'd wear here. Oh my gosh, every day. It was a nightmare. Anyway, that was her incentive. That was his. But for some reason, I couldn't load my card on the switch when I was out there. So he sort of like built them up. And that's what he's just come in to tell me. You still owe me V-Bucks. And I was thinking, I thought he'd forgotten about that. But what he's trying to say is one for every lesson. So he's trying to claim 7 days of V-Bucks. Honestly, they're so cheeky.
No, that's so funny. Kids just don't forget a thing. That's the problem.
But go on, let's carry on. So Greg's party, I missed the food. We've done line dancing.
Oh, we had a rodeo.
Rodeo, I missed
Bucking Bronco.
Yeah. Oh, I missed it.
And also, so we spoke about, obviously, like before, I had the floor protected. So anyway, I had this like plastic, like sticky.
Oh, this was hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious, but the outcome.
Well, it's fine because the floor is actually fine. But so I would say about midnight, one of Greg's friends and Steph, so Sean and Steph come up to me and go, Billie, have you noticed the floor? So what had happened was where the dance floor area was, the plastic stuff had gone to mush.
Yeah.
It was basically mush, wasn't it?
It was.
I think where everyone was like line dancing, clomping in their cowboy boots on the dance floor, everywhere else was all right. I mean, there was quite a bit peeling up here and there, but that bit and then I remember we run to the utility room. We was trying to peel some off from the utility room, and then we was trying to lay it down, but it just wasn't happening. And the next morning, man, what did my house look like?
Well, I was the first up, and I walked downstairs, and I was like, oh, honestly, I had to take a deep breath. There was mess
It was
everywhere.
bad.
And it's not that. There was no like actual damage, but it was like sticky.
No.
Like all the surfaces, like
Sticky,
your
like glasses everywhere.
I mean, what was the
food.
outcome? Because your floor must have needed 3 rounds of pure cleaning and steaming because it was pure stickiness.
The house felt back to normal on Wednesday, so the party was on Saturday.
Yeah,
so
half a
obviously
week.
we'd moved a lot of furniture out as well. Like the cleaning went on for days. Even like now, I'm still finding like scuffs on skirting boards and walls. But at the end of the day, we had about 60 people.
You did. It was a big part. At one point, your lounge was like pumping. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like
Heaving.
I was like, what? Everyone was just like, woo, woo. But there was there was hay, and it was up against the back doors. Then there was this like smushed in chicken wing, and I walked over to it, and I was thinking. 'Cause at first, I thought, is that blood? But anyway, it wasn't. And I was like, I thought, what dirty bastard has
What a
sat
liberty.
down and like either wiped their hands or smushed or something's
Yes.
happened, but it was like quite prominent. Anyway, I knew it would have come off because it was food and it was just on the door, but yeah, liberty. But it was such a good party.
It was a really good party, and do you know what? I do think like everyone like was messaging me the next day. Everyone I think had a really good time.
The thing is, right, I know it's I would suggest to do them at a venue next time, but there's something about a house party you just can't beat.
Can't beat it. It's so true. I think it's such a different vibe.
House parties are so good, especially the Shepherd's house parties.
We did do a 3 a.m. cut off though. Like, was it 3 a.m.?
No, it was 3 because what happened was I went to bed at 2:30. I slept in the end because I thought, oh, I'm not sure how much longer this is going to go on for, and purely because I was obviously knackered from the flight.
We had CJ, and I said to him, he went to me, Billie, what time should I shut this down?
Yeah.
I went 3 o'clock music off.
It's a
And
good idea.
when you went to bed, it was still heaving.
It was heaving.
Wasn't it?
But do you know what happened? So I literally got in, I took all my makeup off, I laid in Nellie's lovely little bed, and I was like, oh, this is cosy. Got my phone out, I wanted to look at some pictures and videos, and I was having a little browse. And within 10 minutes, the music went off. I was like, yes. And that was 3 o'clock. Because I
Yeah.
thought, because it was so loud,
We
I
had
could
to shut
like
it
feel
down.
it coming through.
No, because the thing is, everyone was still bopping away, and I think everyone would have just carried on. But
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as the music went off,
Yeah.
like mostly everyone went. There was a few stragglers, you know, like there
Yeah, I
always
think there was
is.
about 6, wasn't there? Sam said, Sambuca.
Yeah, I went up to bed as well because I thought, no, I looked around at the kitchen,
Yeah.
thought, shall I like even attempt to start clearing up? And I think Jerry went to me, do you want me to stay and help you a bit? And I was just looked and I went, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Good.
And literally just went straight up to bed as well. But yeah, we had a great time.
What did we get? Burger King. Because there was like nothing
Yeah.
in. I was like, I really could do those chicken wings right now. Basically, we ended up getting Burger King for breakfast, and the burger was so dry.
So dry. We couldn't even eat
It was
them.
awful. We couldn't even eat it. What a waste.
It was just a waste of calories.
And then we went down to Mum's, didn't we? Because
I
all the kids were at
know.
Mum's. So Mum made us a ham sandwich, I think, cup of tea and loads of biscuits and crisps we ate, didn't we? That was our hangover food.
Yes.
Delicious.
That was perfect. Yeah, Mum, bless her. Mum had 5 of the kids. So she had my 3 and then Paul and Rosie.
Yeah.
And when we got to Mum was like, the pyjamas, the dressing gown tied around the waist. She'd been making bread, cakes with them.
Yeah, they're all running about.
Yeah, but to be fair, she did say they were really good.
Yeah.
Thank God. That's fine.
They were really
That's
good.
like
So what's
juggle.
this headline, not in the press, on our, as me, Billy, my mum, Greg and Sambuca, Greg's best mate, we've got group chat, always bants going on in there. What's the pile thing, please? Who's got a pile? What's happened?
Oh my God.
I'm assuming Greg.
Well, I had the shock of my life.
What, did you see it?
Was it
You?
Monday or Tuesday morning? No, anyway, this week. So I could hear Greg. He was like up really early. He's in the bathroom anyway. Comes in the bedroom. He went, I've got something really embarrassing to tell you. And I was like, what? You're like, what's happened? He was like, I've got a pile, right? So I was like, what do you mean a pile? He was like, I've got a pile.
A proper one.
And now he's running a bath. But he's like in agony. He went, I've been up all night. He said, I've not been able to sleep. I'm in so much pain, right? Anyway, gets in the bath. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I need to see this. You need to get on all 4s.
Yeah, have
and
a good
he's
look.
like looking at me, like you could tell he's like, Greg's very open.
Did he look in the mirror? Has he had a look in? Has he looked himself?
That's what I said to him. Did you bend over in the mirror and have a look? He was like, well, yeah, of course, because I could feel
Yeah.
like how painful something was. So I was like, right, all 4s in the bath. As soon as like he's done it, I
See
can
it
see it.
hanging
I was
out.
like, oh, but now, right, obviously, so I said straight away, I was like, right, you need to get this and this. So
But all
goes
you
to
can
the
do is
chemist,
push
gets
it
all
back
the-
in, right? With those little cream or those little bullet things.
Well, no, you can buy creams. You could buy creams, but you can also buy pessaries,
Yes.
right? So obviously a pessary is something
It's a bit
you
more,
have to push up.
and they're going to
Okay.
be a little bit more effective.
More effective.
What they're called
about
anusol.
a couple of hours later on in the day.
Anusol.
So later on in the day, he like, he come in, he went, oh, I've had a really traumatic experience. I was like, what? He was like, the pessary. He was like, you know, I've never had to do anything like that. It felt really intrusive. I was like, it gets worse. So anyway, then we have to venture out in the car. We get in the car. Greg, like, naturally always drives. He's in the passenger seat. I'm like, oh, am I driving? He went, I can't drive. I was like, oh no, here we go. This is going to be another thing now. Like,
Do you know what's really funny, right? Have you ever had a pile?
I did after pregnancy one. After giving birth.
Yeah. So
once.
I was going to say, right, I had not Paul and Rosie, escaped it then, but with Edward I did, and I done
Actually,
what?
It's really funny. I was exactly the same.
Third child, yeah.
So I never got one with Nelly or Arthur, but I did with Margot.
Yeah, so for a few weeks, it like just kept appearing. It's so uncomfortable. I get it, and I actually used a suppository, like, so I think they were most effective. And for one, after like 5 days of that, it just went, and it's never come back. Touch wood, thank God. And they are really uncomfortable. But do you know what makes me laugh about men? It's like us women have to go through this kind of stuff and just get on with it.
Yes.
Bearing in mind, we've got a
I
brand new
know.
baby, you're hurting everywhere, you're breastfeeding, you've got late night, you're not sleeping, you're going through all these
Yeah.
emotions, and you might have a pile. But men, and he can't
yeah,
even
just to top it
drive.
off. No, that's what made me die.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever, got in dry. But I thought, the pile is nothing to do with your hands.
Nothing to
right?
do with it.
You've got to sit on the chair anyway in the passenger seat.
And it's probably more comfortable, like, sitting to kind of push it up rather than standing to let it fall down. I don't know. Depends how big his pile was.
Yeah. So he was like, I can't drive. I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be another casualty for a couple of weeks now. Can't do this, can't do that. Because, I don't know, I probably didn't mention it on the pod, but a couple of weeks before that, he'd cut, I might have actually cut into his finger, didn't he, his thumb.
Yeah, and actually, I saw it and it did look quite bad. Obviously, he's got the
that was
stitching.
bad.
He went, look, it's like a sprouting potato. It actually did look like.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
It did look, that was bad. But, yeah, so anyway, so then we're in the car, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't help myself, right? You know, like, all of a sudden the pile jokes start coming into my head,
no.
right? You know, like I
Go
said
on,
to
list
him,
some off.
I was like, I've got loads to do when I get home. All that washing's really piling up, right? But everything, and I think Nelly was in the car as well. and it just didn't stop. You know, like it was one thing after the other. But you know,
brilliant.
when someone's not even finding it funny,
That makes it funnier. Unfortunately, that makes it
makes
funnier.
it funnier. So I'm crying.
I bet
like,
you
in
was.
the car, like, oh, I could feel the tension is piling up in
That's
here. Like, you know, like
so
everything
funny.
was about
Yeah.
the pile for a few days.
So how's he feeling now?
I think, well, it's settled down. He hasn't, like, but I think it's still.
It is
I think it's
uncomfortable.
still lingering.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not as bad as what it was. But yeah, that's been a bit of a drama. This. Oh, that was it. Sorry. I wonder how you got the pile.
Yeah, how did you get the
I was
pile?
like, have you been like constipated? Have you been straining? He went, I know how I've got it. Moving them barrels around for my party, straining, lifting things too heavy. That's what's happened.
Oh no.
No, and you know, like one night, and sorry, like I'm going on now, but just one other thing. So he's sitting, like, you know, like when someone's sort of staring into
Yeah.
like space. I was like, "What's up?" I was like, "You okay?" He was like, "I need to change my lifestyle." Right. So now this pile
Yeah,
has brought on
is-
loads of other worries.
yeah.
Right. He went, you know, not eating. He said, like, I'm just thinking about that. While this pile might have, you know, the party, you know, eating rubbish, drinking, like, you know, constipated, like all. So this pile was now accumulated. All
So
these
now
other
he's
health
going. Yes,
issues.
now he's going for a complete life change.
Now he's going for a lifestyle change.
Oh, that's
yeah.
hilarious.
But yeah, apparently it was the moving of one of them heavy barrels.
The strain,
We had at
the
the
strain
party.
was too big that it just popped out a pile.
Yeah, it was like pop.
Oh, don't.
Oh dearie me.
Well, keep
So
us updated
anyway,
on that. I think next week we should get an update
I mean, I'd love to say I could get a little picky, but
for the Instagram. Yeah, just like we usually say, oh, we'll put it on the page. Maybe not.
imagine.
Yeah.
Oh dearie me. Right. Anyway, enough about Greg's pile. Should we move on to
Yes.
dilemmas?
Come on, let's do that. I found a pack of condoms. Sorry, Rosie's in the house. Keep it down. In my man's work bag. What should I do? We've been married for 9 years. Oh my gosh. And never had any trust issues. He's been working late, which is really unlike him. And the next day I found the condoms in the bag. He swears on our kids that he would never cheat and that he's happy with me. But I can't stop thinking about this.
So she's found a box in the bag. But you know what I was just wondering? I wonder if they were open or if the box was sealed. I wonder.
Does it really matter at this point? He's shagging someone in the office. Let's be honest.
I know. I think if that was me personally, I would think the worst. I'm sorry. It would just scream red flags.
100%. He's working late, which he doesn't usually do.
I think as well, working late, and obviously she's got a gut feeling, and I think your gut doesn't lie. You know, like you just
Nah.
you would instantly know if it was like, I don't know. I don't think it would be a funny joke if like someone put them in there as a
A friend had planted them. They're clearly like responsible adults that have been married for 9 years. So it's not like, that's not the case. Plus, he would have said that anyway. He would have tried to use that excuse, wouldn't he?
Yeah, like
This is really bad.
So she's asking.
So, if this were me, again, I don't have any trust issues. We've been together 9 years. 100 million%, no matter what he would say, because there's never been anything trust issue wise. This would be you're 100%. He's 100% had sex with somebody else, and he's working late. And like she's saying, it's unusual for him to work late. So it just ticks all the boxes.
Yeah, I would think the same. I would think exactly the same. I would be, I wouldn't be able to think otherwise. Like I would be like, no, that's bang to rights. Like that's like the biggest giveaway.
Yeah. And obviously, like from two girls to another, like genuinely, this is so shit. Like really, really, really feel for you. Like this must be awful. But sometimes ultimately, no matter what people say, it's your relationship and it's your feelings. It kind of has to be something that the outcome is in your hands, really, isn't it? It's like the ball's in her court because...
Yeah. But also, I wonder if she could do any more digging, like, I don't know, go down his phone.
It's too late now, though, isn't it? It's almost like, in hindsight, she should have pretended that she hadn't seen them. Maybe got a few pictures for proof. And then you could do some more investigating.
No, I was just going to say, I think in this situation, like ultimately it's up to her, whatever she's going to do, because they're married, they've got children. It's not as easy, is it? But I wouldn't. I'd have to get to the bottom of it. I think I'd have to find out, try and get the truth somehow.
Unless she says, okay, yeah, or unless she says, okay, I believe you, explain what the box is, whatever excuse he's going to give, and then do the investigating. So then she's going to have to I don't know, you're going to have to go and you don't want to see that though, do you? I was going to say you have to sort of go to his workplace or find out what he does when work finishes.
So if he has, what is the it's like, even if he did admit and say, yeah, I have cheated on you, then what, does she really? Because I feel like in some situations, the other person might not even really want to know the truth. They might just be able to think it in their mind, say, oh, it was obviously it was a joke, he's innocent, and because obviously they don't want their whole life. It's turning someone's life upside down, isn't it? Because
but then you do have to think that you deserve a lot better than that, because you're more than likely this could potentially happen again, and you don't deserve that. You don't deserve it. So it's like, I know people give
also,
chances. I'm not saying that you shouldn't look into it and understand what's happening, why it's happening, how long it's been happening for. There is obviously a lot of questions to be answered, but you need the truth. And if you don't have the truth,
it's also premeditated. I feel like.
But also,
buying the condoms.
Why is he so stupid? Why are they in his work bag that he brings into their marital home?
I know. Yeah.
Which is really odd.
That's...
even at least if they were sealed, he could have been like, oh, let's have a cheeky weekend and covered it a little bit. But they were open.
Yeah. I would have counted as well how many were left in the box.
Or, they've been together 9 years. I'm sure they might have their... Yeah. That's... You need some answers. You need the truth. And then you need to go with your gut feeling on this one. And yes, it is going to be a life-changing decision to make, but ultimately you deserve better than that. Plus, you would have your whole world ahead of you. It's not like, it's the end of the world. And sometimes these things happen, like finding that pack of condoms in the work bag, because the universe, someone, however you refer to it, is showing you it for a reason. So it's not right.
To get out of that.
Yeah. Before it gets worse. Anyway.
Well,
it's really
I
sad.
hope whoever this is,
good luck with it.
is okay, and hopefully
could we
she'll get to the bottom of
a
it.
catch up actually on that one? Can you bring us up to speed on what happens?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Right.
Yeah, any more info.
Yeah. Oh dear. Right. Okay, so we've got some quick fire questions. Billie, what are some of the questions you get asked all of the time?
Oh, how did you get on Towie? We both get asked that one.
I'm sure
all those years ago
we've answered this in depth.
We have answered it. Let's not go into it because it's really boring.
And I've answered it in depth twice, I think.
Yeah. That is one I get asked all the time. Oh, one actually is quite a quick one for any of our listeners that have maybe DM'd me this as well. Whenever I post a picture of my chicken noodle soup, I get so many DMs asking for the recipe and the method.
So why don't you tell us?
So I've said to myself, I'm not going to tell you now. It's too boring. I'm going to do a reel on it. It's coming soon.
Okay, fantastic. I look forward to seeing it. Okay. So we're waiting to see Billie's chicken noodle soup. Okay, some fire questions.
Real.
Who are you still friends with from Tower? People are obsessed with Tower, aren't they? Can I just add on something here? I haven't been on that show for about 11 years.
20 years.
A very, very long time. And I was only actually on it for 3. It's crazy, isn't it? I guess because it was so big, people kind of still... Some people can associate you with it.
And it's still going now, isn't it? Although it's obviously different.
Is it though still going?
But yeah, still going strong.
Oh gosh. Right. Okay. So who's your friend with? I wouldn't say that I'm not friends with anybody. I would say that I'm not in contact with anyone. If that makes sense.
No, I think like I'd always like people that if I bump into and see like always still got loads to chat about and would be like Jess, Lydia, Arj, Gemma. Like, you know, like just our friends that were like when we...
Carol.
Yeah, Carol.
Lucy I speak to quite often. It's a tough one because it's like we all follow each other on Instagram. Everyone keeps up with each other's babies and lifestyle. It's all very fast paced, but you don't necessarily meet up with them. But you're all still kind of in contact with each other via social media, I guess. It's just the way of the world now, isn't it? Yeah, so it's like...
Yeah, exactly.
It's never really... fell out of anyone, but you don't really kind of see them all the time.
No.
Okay, so
I think life just happens, doesn't it? And you see each other when you see each other, and it's like there's been no time in between. What
TV opportunity would you both love to do? Something that isn't reality TV. Well, if it's not reality, is it acting?
Well, no. Well, it could be.
I feel like everything's reality.
Yeah, isn't it reality? This is our lives. Yeah. I would love to do so you know, like documentary style Dawn Porter, you know, like something really juicy and interesting that would be, I don't know, it could be anything, couldn't you know, like a topic or real life, if you like.
A little bit Stacey Dooley. She goes really deep, doesn't she?
Yes. Yeah, that style. Obviously it'd have to be like something not relevant to us, but I don't know. I just always think that would be more.
Yeah, like I feel like I could do something gritty. I said it before after going to Uganda and have been in Moldova. It's like, wow, there's so much more to the world than just glossy reality TV. But I just don't know if the channels would do it. Like, it's quite a strange one because I'd already said before and I'd had ideas and I'd like mentioned it, but they don't really go for it, if that makes sense. It's almost like they want
reality.
And also, you know, as well was another good angle, like what Breaking Dad, that kind of thing's quite like fun and
yes.
Yeah, where he takes his dad on all these different adventures and things around the world and different activities. Like, I could see us doing that with Mum.
Oh, imagine that would be the dream. Me, you, and Mum doing that.
Yeah, that'd be so good.
That would be brilliant. We're gonna do it.
We will do it. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity, but a lot of what's on TV really kind of is reality, isn't it?
Right, who is the strictest parent? Sam, Billie, Greg, or Paul?
I don't know, I think I'm a bit of a pushover. I feel like I'm quite soft.
So am I.
It's not a good thing though, because gosh, the way that my kids talk to me sometimes. I would say the men are more strict. I'd say Greg and Paul, would you?
Yeah.
Over us.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're the disciplinarians and we're the loving mothers.
Yeah, there's you have to pick your battles, don't you? Pick what you're going to really. Like Nelly and Arthur can be having a full blown fight, and I'll just be doing what I'm doing in the kitchen because I'm like, I actually don't care anymore.
That's what I do.
What you want to do to each other, just get on with it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not getting involved.
I honestly, when they fight and shout, Paul goes, "Are you just going to let them do that?" And I'm like,
yeah. So that's what Greg says too. He comes running down the stairs and he'll be like, "What are you doing? Why are they fighting?" I'm like, he's like, "Billie, you're in the kitchen." I went, I don't care. Let them do it. I'm like, I'm so bored of my own voice. So yeah, probably it is Greg and Paul, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Do you think you'll have any more children? I personally feel like I'm so happy and satisfied with 3.
Yeah, me too. I'm very happy with 3, and I feel like, you know, 1 child is 1, 1 to 2 is 2, 2 to 3 is 600. You feel like your whole world is different with 3. So maybe having 4 wouldn't, because you know people that I know that have got 4 kids are saying, well, once you've done the 3rd, then that really is a lot easier, and they all kind of muck in and look after each other. But I just find 3 is a lot, and I love them, and they're all, you know, Edward's a toddler now. You know, he's out the baby stage. He's still my baby, but you know, I just think 3
Yeah,
for
of
me
course.
is a really great number. We can all still fit in one car. You know, there's like pros to it, isn't there?
I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Okay, do you ever argue? I guess that's aimed at you and I. We don't, do we? Ever?
No, not anymore.
We used to.
When we was younger, we always used to, but no, we don't anymore.
I would say we probably stopped. When we stopped? Maybe about 2019.
20, yeah. 1920, yeah.
1920. I think it started to like fizzle out a little bit because I think I moved out as well, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say about that sort of age.
And then we don't really argue. I guess I'm just trying to think. We don't at all. Might be a few disagreements, but it's never an argument. Okay, so next question. What did you do before you were on TV? So I worked as a cashier at Lloyd's TSB Bank.
And I worked it was a medical locum agency, and I was doing like all the admin work in an office.
Oh, we also had so as well as working one day a week, we also worked at the club.
The club. Yes, I do remember.
We had a Wednesday. Was it a Wednesday night or a Thursday night? I can't remember.
It was a Wednesday embassy.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
We did have funny times, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was really fun. It was a Wednesday night embassy. We used to go and work for a few hours, didn't we?
Little cash, a bit of extra cash for our weekend spending.
Always hustling.
Yeah. Do you think you will ever be on TV together again? Absolutely.
Yes, I was going to say, I hope so. I can't work with my husband forever.
When Ant and Dec retire, we're in.
Move on in there.
No, I think we definitely will. I just feel like both of us at the moment, I know it sounds silly, we talk about house renovations, but houses, and we've also both got a third. So like the last couple of years has been super busy for us, isn't it? So actually doing the podcast has been perfect. So we can record it from home. You know, we can work around each other's schedules. Poor Vicky's always having to cancel and reschedule us, and there's all sorts of things going on. But it works for us, doesn't it? And I feel like in time to come, when the little ones are in school and, you know, you've got a bit more time in your hands, maybe something will blossom then.
Absolutely.
She's gone all Aussie on me now.
Absolutely. I'm zoning.
Have you had your breakfast yet?
I had breakfast at 4:30 this morning, so I'm really hungry.
Ooh, jet lag. I haven't had my breakfast yet. I just had a few of Rosie's crisps just then. Right, okay, so some deeper questions from the listeners. Do you remember the first time you called Chatty Dad? My 9-year-old daughter called my partner of 6 years Dad for the first time a few weeks ago, and we both can't stop beaming. Oh, it's really sweet. For context, we're not in contact with her biological father, and my partner has helped raise her since he came into my life. That is so sweet. Yeah, we do remember, don't we? Didn't we ask Mum? I think Mum said that we said to...
Well, I remember Mum telling us the story.
Yeah.
No, we said to Dad, Chatty Dave, can we call you Dad? But we was very young, so we was 2 and 3 when Mum
really young.
and Dad Chatty got together. And I remember Mum saying that we said to him one day, I think we might have been in Spain at the time, and we said, can we call you Dad? And he said, Mum said that she looked at him and he said, call me what you like. Call me Chatty, Dad, Egghead, Dave, whatever you like, call me. And Mum said that Dad had to sort of take me and walk away because he had a lump in his throat and his eyes were welling up.
Yeah, because he was going to cry because he was emotional, yeah. Oh, that's really sweet. That's lovely.
That's so sweet. Like, especially being 9, like obviously Nellie's 9 and 9, they're so fully like, they're not little children. I mean, I know they're young, they're kids, but they're like, they know they've got their own mind. Like she's totally done that on her own like back, you know, like she's just thought, I want to call him Dad. It's really sweet.
That is lovely. That's really, really sweet. Oh. Okay, so next one. Have either of you ever struggled getting pregnant? And do you have any advice for people who are? So Personally, no, I haven't. But I was reading something recently actually about conceiving, and a lot of it obviously is to do with your hormones and the time of the month and things like that. There is definitely a lot to be said about diet. I know, look like that's just like, of course. But what was I reading? There's like things you should definitely eliminate, and things you should include.
But I think it's not just the woman, is it? It's the man as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we're always, as women, kind of, you kind of get like, oh, it's like instantly people think it's you, don't they? And actually, 50-50, some of the time, a lot of the time it could be the men as well. And also you have to remember the man makes the placenta. So the man has to be healthy, realistically, more healthier than the female, because they're the ones that build the placenta your babies feed off of for 9 months. How mad is that?
I didn't know that.
Yes. The men make the placenta, not us.
What? How?
It's to do with the sperm. I have no idea. Please don't ask me how.
It's going all technical. How?
Someone correct me if it's not true, but I think it's right.
So with me, I remember when I come off my pill, I stopped taking my pill. This was like first time round with Nelly. And actually, I don't think I wasn't. So, you know, like you could do like ovulation sticks, or you know when you're ovulating. I never done any of that. I was quite young as well. So I wasn't educated, didn't know about any of that. But it actually took, I think, well, let's say I wasn't actively trying, let's say that. I was just, I thought, right, I'm off my pill. If I fall pregnant, I'll be really happy. And I would say I didn't fall pregnant for maybe 7 to 8 months, but I wasn't timing anything or doing anything like that. Whereas with Arthur and Margot, the same thing. I just stopped having contraception, but I actually fell pregnant really quickly with both of them. So I sometimes often wonder, I took the pill for a long time, from the age of 16 to 24, let's say. Like, maybe, I don't know, it could have been like in my sister. I really don't know. But yeah, but then again, it could be just wasn't those timings weren't. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, it depends. If she's obviously, by the sounds of it, she's maybe struggling to conceive a little bit. I feel like, like what Billie said earlier on, it's not always just the women. It could potentially be the men a lot of the time as well. So don't put yourself under too much pressure. But also as well, I found the ingredients. I mean, it's a bit annoying, isn't it? Because everyone probably knows, but that's the ingredient, chasteberry. That's what I heard. Something called chasteberry that's really good. Green tea extract, magnesium, zinc, and then all your vitamins, B1, 2, 3, 5, biotin, iron, and vitamin B6, folic acid. I read this thing recently about folic acid, actually. I don't know if it's so like fatty fish, selenium, all those things. That's a lot to take in. But anyway, I just think that it's dependent on how long you've been trying. I just feel like you need to maybe give yourself some time, like enjoy the process. And don't be disheartened because it potentially might not be you. And there's so many things out there now, isn't there? So many options and ways you can help yourself or your partner. Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next week. Billie, we want an update on the pile.